Who or what is Cthulhu? Perhaps the best way to start this video is with the admission that there is no agreement on how the name of the cosmic being is to be pronounced. The prophet H.P. Lovecraft himself gave conflicting guides on the pronunciation, owing in part to the fact that the name was never meant to be spoken by human mouths. Variations include Cthulhu, Cthulhu, and even Shulu. For our purposes, I will go with Cthulhu, which tends to be popular in North America. As for physical descriptions of Cthulhu, the best we have are actually based on statues of the creature. One, constructed by an artist after a series of baleful dreams, is said to have yielded simultaneous pictures of an octopus, a dragon, and a human caricature. A pulpy, tentacled head surmounted a grotesque and scaly body with rudimentary wings. Another, recovered by a police raid on a murderous cult, represented a monster of vaguely anthropoid outline with an octopus-like head whose face was a mass of feelers, a scaly, rubbery-looking body, prodigious claws on hind and forefeet, and long, narrow wings behind. Lovecraft himself sketched a now famous image of one of these sculptures, sending it in correspondence to a friend. A quick search of the internet will yield hundreds of images of Cthulhu, as the cosmic being has captured the popular imagination of the public at large in a way that no other figure in the mythos has. While his size and details may vary, Cthulhu is almost universally presented as a sea monster with a tentacle-covered face. But beyond the hard-to-pronounce name and the chimeric appearance, who or what is Cthulhu? Certainly there are those who venerate Cthulhu as a god, but do the writings of the prophet lend validity to this statement? Lovecraft depicts it as a giant entity worshipped by cultists, but there is little to indicate Cthulhu gives his followers anything but madness. In fact, Cthulhu is apparently the source of constant subconscious anxiety for all mankind. We know that Cthulhu and his so-called children, the Starspawn, were able to use some means of celestial travel to come to Earth in an ancient primordial time. In order to do this, the stars had to be in a certain alignment. After several millennia, the stars were no longer aligned. Not only did this prevent Cthulhu from leaving Earth, but it forced him into a deep and death-like sleep. Today, Cthulhu lies submerged in the ancient city of R'lyeh, waiting for the stars to be right and for his return to waking. Although he sleeps near death, Cthulhu apparently still dreams, and those dreams are transmitted to certain receptive individuals. Once the individuals receive the dreams, they are overcome with fits of artistic expression and bizarre behaviors. In modern times, Cthulhu is seen as something of a patron or muse for authors and artists who want to tinge their work with hints of madness. Several large cults and churches are devoted to his worship. They use Cthulhu Fhtagn as a greeting. The phrase is part of a larger quote from the language of Cthulhu, which translates to, "In his house at R'lyeh, dead Cthulhu waits dreaming." In his house at R'lyeh, dead Cthulhu waits dreaming. The shortened quote can be taken to mean Cthulhu waits, or Cthulhu dreams. Many of these modern cultists await the next coming of the age of Cthulhu, which they foresee as an apocalypse for mankind. Depending on which cultist you speak with, the coming of Cthulhu will send the world into madness, destruction, or both. When parting company, it is common to hear these cultists use the phrase, "May Cthulhu eat you last," implying that they expect the great old one to bring about the end of humanity either way. Thank you for listening to this video. It was made possible in part through the funding of our Patreon patrons. You can find a link to our page in the description of this video. We want to give a special thanks to our newest patron, Dunwich Whately.